Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at one of the best sports classics that was removed from the game, but is back just this week only in Grand Theft Auto Online, being the Viseris. Now, I personally think that this is one of the nicest looking sports classics in the game, especially when you get it fully upgraded. And it's also a fairly inexpensive car, only sitting at around $875,000. In today's video, I will not only be showcasing what this car is going for it on terms of top speed, performance, but we're also going to be fully upgrading it and seeing how it does on the track. So let's get straight into it! And here we are at Los Santos Customs. As we can see, I've got my Viseris from Simeon's dealership. I actually like this paint. I think this looks really cool. This is like an ultra blue, although I'm thinking I also might paint mine white. I already have a red Viseris, and it's just a classic Torino red. It looks pretty nice, as most red cars do. But I think this one, I'm going to go for a more simple color, just because I want to have a different design. So let's start off with the armor. We're going to do brakes, and we got bumper options. Okay, as we can see, really the only bumper option that I think looks really cool is the race setup. We also got some rear bumper options. We can either remove it, we can have the stock rear bumper, or chrome. I'm a big fan of chrome, so we're going to stick that right on the back. Okay, not too much when it comes to the actual, like, engine compartment. We can see it changes the actual interior window, but for the most part, not all too much. We'll just do, like, GT filters. I think that looks all good. We got some engine tunes. Let's do an upgrade level 4. We got an engine cover. Now, this is where the car actually gets pretty cool. We have the option to have a vanity cover, where we can actually see the engine right through the back, which is epic. We can do roof scoops, which is awesome. We got louvers, and we got a vented cover. We can do carbon detail. Now, personally, I'm going to be either going with the vanity cover or the rear roof scoops. Both of these look absolutely epic. I don't think I'm going to go with any of the other ones just because I don't think they look all too good. So, for now, we're going to go with the other upgrades first. We got some rear exhaust options, as we can see. Some cannons. Honestly, the one I'm probably going to go for is the Mark II diffusers. That just looks absolutely sick. So, we're going to stick with that for now. We got some fender designs we can do. And we're going to go for the wide body. I mean, it just looks so sick with the wide body. I'm always very tempted to stick with the normal, just panels, but it just looks better with the wide body. So that's what we're sticking with. We got some hood designs we can do. A single vent, we can have the stock hood, or a secondary detail. I actually kind of like the secondary design. I like it more than the stock hood. So, because I already have one with the single vent, I'm going to go with a secondary detail, and then we're just going to paint it the same color as the main, and it should look pretty good. We got some light designs. We'll just go with xenon, even though you can't really tell the difference. We got some respray designs. Now, I personally think I want to make this car white. I'm not, like, thinking, like, super bright white, but we'll see what color options I go through. I think that frost white gets the job done. I actually think that looks really, really nice on this vehicle. There's a lot of colors that Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and I guess this is a Pantera de Tomaso looks very nice in. And yeah, I think white is definitely one of those colors that is kind of underrated, especially with a lot of the GTA community. People always want these super bright colors that you wouldn't see in real life, but white is a very common color to find amongst supercars in real life. And I actually think that looks really, really nice. So that's what we're going to stick with. Okay, we got some trim designs. We're going to go with red to make it kind of look like real life, but I just think red looks really cool as well because we have the car white on the outside, so that actually looks really, really sick. Kind of a red leather interior design. Okay, we got some skirts. We can do just kind of basic skirts, I'm not gonna lie. I guess we'll just go with bolted extensions. It's pretty hard to tell the difference between them. And then we arrive at some of the coolest spoiler options. Look at the size of this wing. The competition spoiler is freaking massive, and it's one of my favorite spoilers in the game. We also got the drag spoiler. We got a Aerodyne spoiler, kind of a weird looking one. We got a big old carbon race spoiler. We got a dovetail. We got another dovetail. Then we got the V-wing, which is kind of what you'd see on like the Countach. We got a tailgate spoiler. This one's actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. I do not like the slipstream at all. We got a little hood lip spoiler and none. So mostly the option I always go with is the competition spoiler. This one looks absolutely epic, and it's definitely the best option in my opinion. I think the second best option is the tailgate spoiler. I think this one looks really, really cool as well. We're going to go very briefly through all the upgrades, and I'm going to go back and change the actual louver design, or I think it was the engine cover, and we'll see how it looks with the actual spoiler we've put. So we'll do some turbo tuning, and let's change the rims to the classic rims I always do, Heifer. Okay, we'll put on some custom tires, make it bulletproof, and black out those windows. So then we can go back to engine cover, and we can change this here and see what it looks like. So we've either got the rear roof scoop design, we can do the louvers, which actually looks pretty cool. We can also do the vented cover. Personally, I'm actually going to go with the vanity cover. I think that looks sick. I wonder how the other spoiler looks if you do vanity cover, if it looks better with the other one. Let's see. Scrolling. Honestly, that one doesn't look too bad either. Alright, well for now we're going to stick with the big ol' wing, because that's kind of what you got to go with. In front of you, you can see both of my personal Viseris. I actually think the white looks fantastic, with the red interior and the way the pop-up headlights work, and the fact that underneath the hood we've also got this red texture. I actually think the car looks absolutely epic in white. I also think it looks absolutely amazing in red, though. So I think the car itself is an absolutely amazing design, and I like both unique looks we have here. So yeah, I actually really can't say which color I personally like more. But let's take the Viseris out on the track. Let's see how it does on lap time and talk about its overall performance. In terms of top speed, the Viseris is actually quite impressive, reaching 124 miles per hour, placing it within the top 4 of the sports class. In fact, if you're like me, playing on a PC where you don't have HSW vehicles, this is the second fastest of all the sports classics. So that's really impressive. The Viseris is not going to have to worry about speed. When it comes to handling, it's also ranked within the top 12, which is pretty solid, and we're going to be finding out just how good its handling is by doing the test track that we always do, making our way from where we currently are in the city, through Vinewood Hills, through the curvy mountains, and finishing off over at the biker club. So let's see what the vehicle can do. And in 3, 2, 1, starting the stopwatch, let's see what the Viseris can do. Now, the fastest lap time I've been able to achieve is in a motorcycle, being the Western Power Surge, at 2 minutes and like 10 seconds, which is absolutely insane. When it comes to cars, the fastest I've been able to achieve with a non-rocket powered vehicle is something like the Viseris, which is 2 minutes 19 seconds. So pretty impressive lap time overall. I'm 100% not expecting this car to even get remotely close. First of all, the Viseris is not nearly as fast on top speed, but it also features much worse grip, which means I gotta slow down a lot when rolling into these corners so we don't end up crashing. We can see there was a lot of cars there that we actually had to go around as well, but that shouldn't matter all too much. Let's stay on the center of the road so we don't crash into anybody. And, okay, not too bad so far. I definitely had to slow down a lot more than I wanted to, but that's just because this car's handling is really sus. Oh, God. All right, we're all good. All good. Just have to apply the brakes here and there. You can see, oh, wow, the Viseris just really wants to lose grip. While on paper, it has really good handling, when it comes to the actual enjoyment factor of this car, it's a little sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're always worried about it spinning out when rolling around a corner, which is not always good, and I can't actually say the handling is all too great, but we're still doing okay. We're at about 1 minute and 20 seconds so far, and we're starting the downhill descent. So this is where picking up speed and power is going to be key. We're going to roll around this first corner. Didn't actually lose grip at all. We had to let go of the gas quite a bit though there. Okay, not too bad. Let's make our way around this car right here. Try not to crash into it. Oh, that was like really scary close. We were like a nut hair away from that guy, but we're fine. Let's put on the brakes. Try not to lose grip. Okay, all good. Weird enough, as long as you're not giving the car gas, it doesn't actually seem to lose grip. It's only when you're trying to give it gas. So that's really, I guess, all you're going to have to be careful about. When actually just letting it coast through the corners, it seems to do pretty well. So, yeah, not too bad. If I were to rank this car out of 10 on handling, I'd give it a solid 7. That's not bad. I mean, people always think of 7 as like, oh, it's a 7 out of 10. But if we compare it to some of the other vehicles I've driven, it's definitely not the worst. It's just not the best either. It's pretty mediocre. Okay, well, we are at 2 minutes and 20 seconds now, so we have just lost to the Viseris at this point, and we can clearly see that, yeah, the Viseris is not going to be setting any speed records when it comes to the category of supers or even a lot of the sports cars. But it's not what I would consider bad. It's only about, what, 15-20 seconds slower than the fastest supercar in the game. So not all too bad at all. 2 minutes and 41 seconds on the clock, as we can see. So, yeah, I'd have to say the Viseris did a pretty solid job overall. At the end of the day, this is a very, very cool sports classics. It has a lot of customization, and it actually has some of the coolest spoilers I've ever seen. The engine looks amazing, and also, let me turn up my game volume to max. Listen to the sound of this engine. I mean, that just sounds absolutely amazing. So, I personally think the Viseris is one of the coolest sports classics available. The fact that it's not only incredibly fast, but it features decent handling for the category and has very, very good customization, in my books makes this a 100% steal. So make sure to get your hands on the Viseris, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.